This is one of the wilder stories I've seen this year. It almost sounds made up, like a fake headline in GTA Online or something. It sounds AI generated by ChatGPT. It's hard to believe this is real. A YouTube couple has now just been sentenced and will receive prison time, at least for the husband, for a series of videos where they showcased blatant insurance fraud. Multiple videos of blatant insurance fraud. And the word multiple is doing so much heavy lifting here, it's a sin. Like, that is an understatement. Over 160 videos allegedly showcasing insurance fraud attempts or collisions caused by the YouTube couple in order to get money from their insurance. Also, road rage, as well as provoking road rage. Just like this absolute massive pile of horrible shit they were doing in their vehicle in order to get money from insurance. Everyone hates scammers, but the roller coaster doesn't stop there. It doesn't matter if you've already puked your guts out, here comes the encore. They're also facing, well, and have been sentenced for child abuse because they were intentionally causing these accidents with their kid in the car for some of them. And they would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling internet points. This is the most on-brand shit for the modern landscape of brain rot, clout goblin mentality. The father couldn't keep his hand out of the cookie jar of internet clout, so he started posting these dash cams of the collisions and insurance fraud attempts on his YouTube channel, and then shamelessly went to TikTok to accuse some of the other drivers that he got into the collisions with that he himself caused of being insurance scammers.
What you see here, this is Jeremy Perales. He's about to set me up for an insurance scam. He's about to set up an accident. He recognized me from Facebook.
Unhinged lunatic behavior right here, and then proudly posted on his own TikTok page. So what happened is, he had suddenly started to brake, and the driver behind him had to cross the double yellow line to get around him to avoid a rear-end collision, and then Christopher turns into him in order to force the accident. And the driver was initially found to be, I believe, like 90% at fault because he crossed the double yellow line. Christopher was actually quite gifted, an idiot savant when it came to insurance fraud.
He's doing and he knows how to not be at fault for him.
It was last April. Jeremy Perales says his insurance premium shot up after this accident in Yucaipa. But was it really an accident?
To think, to be able to do this to a person, set them up for an accident?
I was stopped and then he hit me.
Jeremy says his insurance deemed it 90% his fault because he crossed into the other lane. But it isn't the first so-called accident Phelps had been in.
Just the way Christopher Phelps speaks is off-putting. He sounds straight out of Dr. Evil's lair. He just sounds menacing and, like, genuinely unhinged. And then he's talking about how, like, it's unspeakable how this man could try and set up an accident all because he recognized me from Facebook. Holy shit, that is deranged. You think he recognized you from Facebook and then tried to set up this accident? That doesn't even make sense. Obviously, Christopher doesn't believe that. His whole MO was insurance fraud in order to collect on the insurance paycheck. But Jesus, it's just so weird to listen to him speak. He just gathered mountains upon mountains of evidence against himself and posted it online. And somehow investigators stumbled upon this cornucopia of evidence that the husband, Christopher Phelps, was gathering of their insurance fraud and child endangerment. Like, Christopher ended up being his own worst enemy. He was like, the Zodiac killer, leaving all these clues, all these breadcrumbs for investigators to somehow find. And I have no idea how they found his channels, because he was getting like 50 or 60 views per video. I don't know how the fuck they ended up there. You would have been more likely to end up in Narnia than on his channel. But Jesus Christ, they must have had L from Death Note on the case, because they found all of it, and they really cannonballed into the rabbit hole. Investigators found at least 23 collisions, allegedly documented by Phelps, which were linked to at least 17 insurance claims. Christopher is receiving 3 years in the slammer, and his wife is getting only a little bit of time in jail and then 3 years of supervised probation. Now, I'd like to show you a couple more videos here from the archive of Christopher Phelps and his insurance fraud journey. I have to mute the first part of the video here because this goober was playing DMCA copyright music. I'll just explain what he's saying. He's saying that the driver that he's pointing to is mad because Christopher passed him. Christopher's got some steam coming out of his ears for this video because he was actually found at fault by the officers on the scene for abruptly stopping, which causes this rear-end collision. But Christopher's arguing that the guy flipped him off, which the guy does admit to, and that because he was mad, when he stopped for a utility vehicle, the guy intentionally rear-ended him.
And just to show you that utility truck, here's the guy that hit me right there. That is the utility truck that was turning left onto my street. I was trying to stop for him and give him way to go down this way, and unfortunately, this guy was mad because I passed him.
What a bunch of mumbo jumbo, a load of hooey here. He's claiming that, oh, this is his fault, he was so mad, real mad goofball, and he rear-ended innocent old me who was just stopping for this utility vehicle over here. When the video immediately betrays that, what are you talking about? You stopped abruptly, you brake-checked this man way back where those two trucks were parked, and then your evidence that you were actually stopping for a utility vehicle turning left is like significantly further along than where you actually stopped. Unless you were giving this man like 700 feet worth of turning radius room, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's not what happened. That's a blatant fucking lie. And here's two rapid-fire insurance fraud attempts from old Christopher and his wife. I don't know if their kid's in the car for these, but probably is, considering they did that quite a few times.
And we're gonna do this. Find out if they're gonna conspire with the sheriff, or if they're gonna cooperate. We'll see.
This is the last TikTok video that Christopher posted, him as a warrior about to go to battle for his case, fighting for justice, and signs off with, we're gonna find out if they're gonna conspire with the sheriff or cooperate. That is so fucking weird. Such a weirdo, and such a bad fucking person. Him and his wife. To not only be insurance fraud scammers, but to put your life, the life of the drivers on the road, and the life of your child all on the line for a couple doubloons from insurance is ridiculous. That is so fucked up and disgusting. A scam that endangers your life, the other drivers' lives, and the life of your kid that you're putting in these situations. I think 3 years was way too light of a sentence for this guy, and his wife got off way too fucking easy here. I don't understand how they got such light sentencing for this shit. They even did get assault with a deadly weapon charges because they were using their car as a fucking weapon. They were just hitting other drivers on the road to try and squeeze some coins out of insurance claims. They were more than willing to not only endanger themselves, but everyone else, including their kid. Every day was bring your child to work day, basically, so they'd fucking strap their kid into the back seat and just blast into another vehicle to try and file another insurance claim. And if they unsuccessfully caused an accident, they'd then try and make a road rage incident out of it. It's crazy how little they got punished for it, relatively speaking. I think the sentencing is way too lenient on how often they were doing it. This is very clearly premeditated, and it comes at a high price to everyone around them. This could have been a lot worse. There could have been deaths. And even in its current state, many of the other drivers, they had insurance premiums be hiked up as a result of this because some of them were found at fault for the shit that Christopher Phelps and his wife were doing. The whole thing is just so fucking horrible, and I'm really pretty upset that they get off so easily from it. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I found it so fascinating. I learned about it from Otozi, who recently made a video covering it as well. It's so degenerate. It's so fucking ridiculous. So yeah, just wanted to talk about it. That's it. So yeah. Yesterday, one of the largest and longest running scams in Twitch history was brought to light. It was led by a streamer named It's Slicker, and it wasn't like some big, tight operation or anything. It's Slicker is a streamer that was friends with many other streamers and had a very strong community, and over the course of a couple years, he asked many of his viewers, his mods, and his friends for loans, promising to pay them back within a few months, but never did. And in total, it looks like he may have scammed around $300,000 from viewers, mods, and friends. However, the exact total isn't known, and yesterday, Slicker even admitted all of it on stream. And I just want to preface this video by saying it does involve gambling. Slicker has a self-admitted gambling addiction, And it's a very serious and debilitating illness, but it doesn't excuse any of Slicker's behavior. The scamming is absolutely indefensible. Now what you're going to see is the real-time investigation that I conducted on stream that'll show the whole story and go over everything. These are some hefty accusations here. I'm going to have to get the monocle out and take a peek for myself. Get to the bottom of this one. He got 27K from a streamer? I feel like we're just making shit up now. I don't believe that. A streamer gave him 27K? Lent him 27K? Who? Scroll down. I don't want spoilers. I want to go in order.
Yo, Typhoon, what's up, baby? I hope you don't hate me on this. It's so cringe, and I'm cringe for asking my brother, please do not hate me.
No.
Please, keep it personal as well. Basically, my bank account got locked. This has happened for like 3-4 days. I've been asking around people. Sadly, today, well, tomorrow is the last day until my...
Just a quick pet peeve. I don't mean to immediately cut him off. I hate videos that are like this. The pretending to look busy. Oh, it's also really low, isn't it? I still have it set on volume from last night here, sorry. I hate it. Like, he's just acting like he's got things going on, like shuffling around the house at a weird angle. Oh, it's just such a weird vibe. Like, if you're gonna film a video, just sit still and do it. Don't just, like, wander around aimlessly like an NPC glitching out in a quest line. It's just much simpler.
Fucked up. It got locked out, and I was looking for people that actually work, and that I could ask if I could borrow from, and I'll pay back. Genuinely, give me 2 months and I can pay back. If you can't, no worries, my brother. If you can, but please, don't feel forced to say yes. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get in the call to do this. It's so I feel genuinely embarrassed. I've asked a few streamers, they couldn't help, and
Oh,
yeah,
don't be embarrassed. No shame.
So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah, that's why I also asked for your age, because I don't.
Okay. So the story is, he asked his viewers, as well as streamers I suppose, to send him money saying he'd pay them back in 2 months, and never has. That's the gist of it, right? Turn up more. I mean, it's maxed on both OBS and here. It's just he was doing like ASMR for this fucking video. Okay, and then I saw this in the comments, but I haven't clicked any yet, so let's go through these. Hopefully this is chronologically ordered. It's LSF, I would expect nothing else. Alphabetized as well. Perhaps using the Dewey Decimal System. Read the convo, still got my issue with money. You can't borrow for a few days, and I bust back. Nah, sorry bro, legit. What's the issue anyway? 200 quid for 300. Can't be bothered explaining. Long story with my accountant. You get that in 2 days or less, or even today or tomorrow. You get an extra 100 quid. Sounds like a RuneScape scam. I'm assuming this is just a viewer. Oh, okay, I see. So at the end of the clip, I thought I might have misheard him because he's fucking whispering into my ear like little sweet nothings. He asked his age, didn't he? That's what he said at the end of the clip, right?
It's okay. So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah, that's why I also asked for your age, because I don't.
That's why I also asked for your age. It looks like he did that to a lot of people, because this starts with, I'm almost 17, and yeah, which means he probably asked, how old are you? Okay. Wait, you work at 16? What the fuck? Yeah, kind of common. At 16, bro? Never mind, I need a fave, but I feel you're young to ask. Oh. God, what a creepy vibe. Jesus. My bank got temp locked and I need to buy my mother a plane ticket to Iraq since my GMA got corona. Plane ticket cost $575, but I don't know, man. I don't know who to ask. I won't ask a streamer because their ego is nasty as fuck. One of his loyal viewers gave him 7K? Oh, God! October, November, December, June. Oh, my lord. These were monthly payments. What was he running? A protection racket or something? Like the mafia? What did he do with the money? Like, does he just spend it on, like, gambling? Does he, like, dump it into cars? What does he do? Full disclosure, I'm not super familiar with Slicker. I've only met him, like, twice. One of them was during a League of Legends tournament, and that was pretty miserable. Not because of him, just the tournament itself. We just got steamrolled. So I'm not, like, really familiar with him overall. But This seems pretty bad. It's always the same stuff. I don't understand. As a streamer, how can you be so low IQ? Everything gets leaked. Literally everything gets leaked. So if you're scamming viewers and streamers alike, how can you possibly think for 1 second that's never gonna come up? God. It has to be gambling. It has to be gambling. I can't imagine what else he's spending this money on. Is he big into gambling? Literally everyone is saying yes. Does he gamble on stream, or is this just like an in-person thing? Yeah, that's what chat was saying. He took 28K from someone named Luca. Luke AFK. We haven't gotten that far yet. That's just like a little spoilers from chat. Such a weird cold open too. Yo, bro. Yo, how old are you? Like who opens with that? Oh, this time he actually did a call. Damn, this one was only like 3 weeks ago. August 29th. Oh my god, this one was last week. Oh, Jesus. What the fuck? And then the streamers people mentioned Minx, Ludwig, Slime, and Luke AFK. Is there any others? So apparently Ludwig and Slime both gave him money. Minx gave him money, and Luke AFK apparently gave 27K. Or 28K.
I lost 27,000. From
Fuck.
giving a lend to Slicker.
God, that's so
I thought
painful.
I could trust him, and I guess I just couldn't, bro. And I'm honestly like I'm really fucking sad about it. You know, like I'm actually.
Well, as anyone would be, 27 grand, 27,000 barnacles. Oh. Bro, that guy probably thought himself a saint for a while. Like, damn, that's my good deed for the next 5 years. Because, I mean, judging by all these screenshots, Slicker was coming up with really big sob stories, so he was probably like, damn, I just saved this guy's life. When really all he did was fund a couple extra spins. That's a year's wage for some people. Yeah, it is. That's a lot of doubloons. He asked me to in DMs on Twitter. I'm ex-Twitch staff admin. He asked me out of the blue on Twitter, and he signed a gambling sponsorship a couple days ago and got paid up front 5K. Jesus Christ. I'm almost insulted he never asked me. What the fuck? Why would... I'm not good enough to ask for money? Okay, Slicker, whatever. I don't think I follow him on Twitter. That might be why. Damn. Drats. No, I don't trust that shit. I don't blame people like his viewers for believing that story. But just as a general lesson, a streamer of Slicker's size is never going to have money trouble unless quite literally they have an absolutely debilitating gambling addiction and they have spent every dime. If I remember correctly, he holds 5K subs, right? Somewhere in that ballpark, 3 to 5K subs. You have to be remarkably irresponsible with your money to be anywhere close to not well off. Because that's just subs. No, he holds around 1.6 now. What? When he was on my League of Legends team, he had like 5K subs. What happened? That was only like 8 months ago. He has 600 subs and averages 600 viewers. Well, I'm going to look for myself. Because if that's true, that's a colossal fall off in a very short amount of time. Oh, wow. What the fuck happened? Did he stop streaming? My lord. That shit's looking like Netflix stock.
He's awake right now. I know for sure he's awake.
Yeah, he probably asked for money around this time.
I know for sure he's awake. I don't give a shit. Dude,
his mods were unbanning
is he using
toxic
Skype?
People.
He scammed his own mods? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's not surprising. He scammed everyone. That's equal opportunity scamming right there, baby.
He tweeted he'll address it tomorrow.
I have no doubt that'll go well. Unless this is all like one giant disinformation campaign, I don't know how you really come back from it. But there's so many reports from so many streamers, viewers, and mods. I don't know how you come back from it. He even filmed himself asking for money. But I'm always open to hearing the other side. And I know that stream's gonna be a banger.
You might be banned by tomorrow, bro.
What
What do you mean? Why would you
do?
get banned? What do you mean?
Bro, I'll just say it here as well. My intentions were not to scam. I have paid a few people back, but I'll say it on stream tomorrow.
Okay.
Why did you
Okay,
pay the
so-
streamers back and not the people who?
That doesn't really save it though. If the intention wasn't to scam, that's not really the problem. Here's my guess. The intention was to make up for losses from gambling, and his idea was not too dissimilar from like a pyramid scheme almost, right? You take in a big influx of money and you pay the investors back with the incoming stuff, right? So his idea was probably, I'll take this money in, I'll win big gambling, and I'll pay them back, and now I'm up. Or Ponzi, not pyramid. Ponzi. Sorry, I got him fucked up. That's my guess. Again, I'm not super familiar with Slicker, but that's what it sounds like to me. I fully believe him that his intention wasn't just to take money from these people without paying them back. He truly believed he would be able to make more money with their money and pay them back. But you know how that goes. He could start a GoFundMe. Yeah. Feel really bad for all those people that's a lot of lost money. Yeah. You can't help but feel bad for the people that thought they were doing a good thing to help out someone they liked. Bro, imagine though. Imagine Slicker won big. Fucking fat big buckaroos. The massive mega jackpot Omega Millions. He pays everyone back and he's still viewed positively. Just get better at gambling, idiot. It's free money. Eventually. Yep, that's the stat. 90% of gamblers quit right before the big win. Heartbreaking. But the good news is it doesn't seem like he ever quit, so he's still due for that big win. Do you think he can get arrested for this? I don't know, man. What do I look like? The authorities? I have no fucking clue. I guess it would depend on what the people he scammed choose to do. Because, I mean, you can't, like, scam legally, right? Like, you can get sued. So it'd be up to them to, like, press it forward. But then they'd be out even more money. So here's his first ask. So looking for $1,000 here. Which is like the standard ask he seems to have been doing. Oh, I see my cam's blocking it. I'll just read it. I don't feel like moving the cam. If I asked, would it be okay to borrow and I get you when I'm back? Don't worry, King, you can say no. Keep it personal as well because I'm embarrassed. I recorded that because they won't allow screenshots on the app. Is $1,000 okay? I got you. An extra, are you able to do Bitcoin King in case you think I'm hacked? Or PayPal is fine. Thank you so much. It's okay. It would mean a lot. But believe me, 1K is fine. Thank you. I got it. So that's Lakari. He sent through the money. Slicker confirmed he got it. And then this is Slicker attempting to pay him back. He shows a screenshot of money that was supposedly sent to Lakari. But then it turns out it wasn't. It turns out it was canceled. So he's like, oh, what in tarnation? What the fuck? That's weird. It's gone from my bank now. So they didn't pay him back. Oh no. How is this? It just keeps getting worse. Botez lended him 10K. Ah. Did she just say that? Let's see. This is hot off the press right now. I wonder if we can tally up the total amount that he was able to scam. If enough people come forward with their receipts. They're tallying it up on Asmon's stream and they're saying it's right around 200K plus. Not bad. not bad. Wow. Damn, he's good. Yeah, he's good. I'm surprised he was able to do it for so long, especially with such a weird opener. Again, like, look at these screenshots. Almost all of them start with, how old are you? Immediately went to the very only one that isn't opened like that. Okay, my god. Yeah. Just a cold opener with how old are you? That's just with random viewers, though. He was far more personal with streamers and friends. I just pulled up the Lakari post. Yeah, I agree. He was a lot more, like, I wouldn't necessarily say personal, though. He just made it a lot sadder. So, like, with Lakari, he was like, look, you can say no. It's totally fine if you say no. I'll still think you're a king. But listen, king, I need $1,000. And again, you can say no, but it'd really mean a lot to me if you gave me $1,000. Believe me, I'll pay you back and then some. So if $1,000 would be really appreciated. But again, you don't have to. But I would really appreciate if you did. Here's my PayPal. Thanks for some Tempest. I don't. So apparently on Asmon's stream, they're tallying it up and they're saying it's like a little north of 200K. I don't think it's 200K. If I had to guess based on all of the ones I know about, like that I've seen so far, I would say it's probably right around that 125 to 150 grand ballpark. That would be my guess. I don't know how many of his mods he scammed though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Train did give him $100,000.
But
Not
this
surprised.
Is the epitome of gambling. I'm never won.
Is this true?
200,000. My father hears this. I need to get help.
That's
I don't know
true.
how? I always wished I could get help from it.
There are so many courses and places to help with gambling addiction. There's a ton of options.
Yeah, man. Keep a little bit for myself. Gamble the money. See if I can win and maybe owe people back with that money. I lose that money.
Exactly what I thought.
Alone. I don't know what to do. Then I ask someone else, hey, can you give me 500?
That is exactly what we were all speculating. Unlucky.
This is not a man. These gambling sites you're witnessing. Yeah, I was actually gonna do some sponsors. I don't know.
I mean, so far it seems like he's not making any excuses. He's not trying to sugarcoat it. He has a gambling addiction.
How can he trust me?
And it's completely ruined him.
How can he trust?
Started with CSGO. Like he would use the money he'd beg for CSGO cases? Or is that where he attributes like the start of his addiction? What you just saw is legitimate gambling addiction, the darkest side of it. People like to downplay it a lot, but that is actually life ruining. What's the stat? 1 in 4 gambling addicts take their own life? It is a legitimately like life ruining addiction that people make light of. It's 1 in 5. 1 in 5. I knew it was something like that. But you have to push for the max win. I mean, you're right. You're guaranteed a max win at some point in your life. It's just a matter of, are you man enough to stick it out? That's right. Amen, brother. I hope Slicker gets the help that he needs. Gambling addiction's fucking rough. And hopefully the people that got scammed get their money back somehow. So, here, let me see the clips. Chat was kind of giving me the dirty details as they unfolded. It seems that roughly, 50 or so victims? And the clips have an update. Oh, here we go.
Ever since CS
And Trainwreck's TV gave 100 grand, like just straight up from, that's one person, 100 grand. And we also know Luke AFK gave 28 grand. We know Botez gave 10 grand. And these are just some of the heavy hitters. So it's definitely over 200. Very, very well over 200.
CSGO, not to blame, but ever since CSGO Lounge came out, it was the first time I went on that site, and
He himself was like, yeah, no one should really defend me. You can't. It's an indefensible thing. Yes, it is a legitimate illness, but I mean, it's not like that's an excuse to scam this many people for this long. Train gave him 100K to pay off all debt and then cut all contact with him after. Oh, and he didn't use it to pay people back? Well, this is just fucking sad,
I'm
man.
not a victim. I'm not a victim. Man, wallah, I never knew this thing was gonna come, bro.
Okay, this is just fucking sad. That's just making me sad. I don't know why you'd tell me to watch that. Fake tears. It's hard to say. Gambling addiction is a real thing, though. He deserves all this backlash for scamming for so long. It's still just a very sad thing overall, though. I don't want to see a guy fucking break down about it. Like, you can feel bad for someone's mental health while also condemning their actions. Again, gambling addiction's a very real thing. It's a genuine illness, but it doesn't excuse anything he did. So I don't feel bad that he got called out for it and now his whole career's in the shitter from it. That was his decision to keep going. Apparently, Train even tossed him $100,000 lifeline to pay everyone back, and he gambled it away instead. But that still doesn't mean I want to celebrate watching him cry on stream. Cryptocurrency and scams, the most iconic duo. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. Today, a once massive streamer was exposed for stealing $500,000, roughly, from his fans. This is the story of Ice Poseidon and CX Coin. I'm sure you've heard of Ice Poseidon. At some point, he used to be the most influential streamer on Twitch, but over the years, he's faded into obscurity like a fart in the wind, just fleeting but stinking the entire time. Ice Poseidon's a name you still can't even really mention on Twitch. It's like Voldemort, because he got banned on there quite a while ago, and then when he made the switch to YouTube, he never quite recovered. So his channel really faded, and now it's just kind of like talking about a fossil. But last year, he made kind of a resurgence. He announced a cryptocurrency called CX Coin. Now, even just at a surface level, knowing nothing about Ice Poseidon, it still seems like a stupid thing to invest in, just a random streamer who has no technological background announcing a cryptocurrency. You'd have to be pretty close to overdosing on Xanax to think that that's a worthwhile investment, but knowing his past makes it even goofier. Ice Poseidon has a history of openly scamming people and being super honest with it. He even went on stream one time just fully admitting to a Ponzi scheme he was running.
In order for the investors to make their money back, what we do is we grow the company to a certain point, and then we have other investors come in, and obviously they invest their money as well, hopefully more than $2 million. And then obviously when we get more than $2 million invested, the other investors will get their $2 million back. It's not a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. Okay. I don't really know how to explain it, because I didn't explain that very well, I guess.
That is the textbook definition of a Ponzi scheme. It's like he fucking read it right off of Webster's. And he's just super honest with it. He also talked about the time he used to fish credit cards. Like, he openly has admitted to scams in the past, and yet for some reason, when he announced this cryptocurrency, people still put money into it. And I'm sure, just like a Darman video, they live to regret it, because goddamn, a video came out today where CoffeeZilla dove in and proved that Ice Poseidon took almost $500,000 from that cryptocurrency, just rug pulled it. And it's a great video. I highly encourage you to watch it. I'm going to show a couple of clips here, but he does a great job of laying it all out, and even brings Ice Poseidon himself on the horn, who openly admits again to stealing the money and refusing to give it back, even though he openly says, yes, I took the money. It's an actual fucking felony. The dude just openly admits to defrauding investors. It's crazy. Like, I understand Ice Poseidon's damn near illiterate, but it's also shocking just how dumb he is sometimes. He openly, on CoffeeZilla's interview, says, yeah, I took the money. No, I'm not giving it back.
To $500,000, and I'm going to prove it. He personally profited $300,000 by stealing money out of a crypto scheme that he set up. And when I confronted Ice Poseidon, who's better known by his real name, Paul Danino, about this scam, he was shockingly honest.
You want to keep the money that's not yours, that you took from the project, even though you failed to deliver.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want me to say, but yeah.
I'm trying to get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that.
Yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. But I'm going to look out for myself and not do that. I don't know what else to say. That's just the most honest answer.
Ice Poseidon's like Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, the one that just keeps talking about buttered toast, but if he was a criminal. He's honestly, I swear to God, like that stupid cartoon character that you'd think could never really exist in the real world, but somehow he does. But not only that, I truly believe Ice Poseidon thinks he's done nothing wrong. In the CoffeeZilla interview, there's a point where CoffeeZilla mentions that the people he took this money from are people that are less well off than he is. is. Somehow there are sentient, living, breathing human beings that for some reason were convinced this was a good idea to put money into. I just don't get it. For some reason, anytime cryptocurrency is mentioned, people just turn their brain off, hop on MetaMask, and dump their entire fucking life savings into poop-ass dog pussy coin and think that they're going to make $1 billion off of it. Like, I don't get it, but it keeps happening. And CoffeeZilla mentions, like, hey, those people that you took the money from, they don't have that much money. And Ice Poseidon's like, oh, well, I don't like it when you say it like that.
Now, I pleaded with Paul, or Ice Poseidon, to return the money that he stole, in part appealing to the guilt that he was taking money from his fans who were all much worse off than him. Ice Poseidon's response was that he didn't like how that made him sound.
I don't know if you're aware of the fact that your average fan has way less money than you. So you're just taking from poor people. Like, you understand that, right?
That is definitely not, that is not a good way to put it. That's a pretty shitty way to put it, my dude.
I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
So he clearly doesn't like to be confronted with the hard truth of what he actually did. So he's trying to like spin it somehow in his mind where he's not the bad guy. He's not the evil supervillain. So he's like, oh, no, this was actually a righteous thing to do. In fact, I'm like the Batman of crypto or some shit. Like, he doesn't like it when you explain to him that what he actually did is just scam people less fortunate than he is. And I really feel like he has some kind of main character syndrome or hero complex, because at the end of CoffeeZilla's video, spoiler alert, he does mention that he'll give back 155 grand. And then, like, what, expects us to pat him on the ass for it because he's giving back a fraction of the total amount that he stole? This goofy goober already stated in the interview he could give the full amount back if he wanted to. He just simply doesn't want to. He's a schoolyard bully, and he doesn't want to share his popsicles with the rest of the class. And, like, we're supposed to, like, thank him for the 155 grand that he's willing to shave off of his pubic hair for us. He's just giving us some crumbs back. And then it turns out he didn't even give 155 grand back, he gave 40 grand back, so he couldn't even be bothered to do, like, the full amount of his apology return. It's fucking shocking. Like, just imagine being robbed. They steal your TV, they steal your Xbox, PlayStation, they steal all your electronics. But then a week later, you get a box from the burglar, and he sent you the TV remote back and nothing else. What, are you supposed to, like, write a thank you note to them? Like, hey, fuck yeah, at least now I got this back.
You know anything about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, not rugged, but, I mean...
Well, if someone pulled all the liquidity out, that's a rug, right?
That would be a rug, yes. But there is still liquidity in there.
40K got left and 300K got ripped out? Or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what happened.
Right. Are you laughing? I mean, is that funny?
I mean, no.
You're hearing this right. He's admitting he took out 90% of the money, but that's not a rug pull, apparently.
$300,000 is in there. There's two options, right? Leave the money in there, and then if BNB goes down to like $100, the money goes to shit anyways, or I could take it and the money is not just going to dust.
I love that explanation there for, like, his reasoning of stealing 300 grand. It's like, I was faced with two choices, the ultimatum, you know, the red or the blue pill. Do I let the money sit there and hit zero in this fucking poop project that I've started? Or do I take the investors' money, 300 grand for myself, and then at least it never hits zero? I'm sure the investors wanted you to have that money, Paul. I'm sure they were really, like, breathing a sigh of relief, like, oh, fuck, what a hero. That money was about to hit zero, but luckily all of the money I invested went to Paul instead. So now I've lost all of it, but, you know, at least Paul's got it.
I'll just call it a scam. I know you don't want to call it a scam, but it is a scam. So what did you make off this?
Well, I got 55%, and then 45% went to my developers. So I don't know, probably like 300,000.
Nice. What a good profit from doing. I mean, how long did you work on this project? Like, seriously, how long did you work? I'm just curious.
Well, like you said, it was a fork, so I don't know, a couple weeks.
300,000 fat clams for 2 weeks worth of work, and I'm sure he inflated that. I don't think he did 2 weeks worth of work for this at all. And yeah, I highly encourage you to watch the CoffeeZilla video. It is absolutely wild. I'll put a link to it in the description. It is a shockingly honest insight into the mind of a serial scammer. And the way that he reasons things and, like, blames the people who got scammed, it's crazy. So I just wanted to talk about this because I thought this was fucking crazy. Yeah, unfortunately the title of the video is not misleading. Mr. Lonely himself, Akon, is behind a massive scam. If any of you watching grew up in the 90s or early 2000s, I'm sure that name rings a lot of bells because Akon is an artist who was responsible for some absolutely iconic boner jams back in the day. And a few years ago, he decided to pitch a city, Akon City, which would be powered by the blockchain and have their own form of currency called A-Coin. And I've got to tell you, the design documents here, the blueprints, the renders of what Akon City could look like are so outrageous it almost makes the Willy Wonka experience look like a good idea. I feel like everyone who takes even a glance at the proposed Akon City documents will immediately write it off as being impossible and just a load of baloney. And they'd be 100% right in that assumption. This will never happen. This city looks like something out of Final Fantasy. It's just not really feasible. Yet, Akon, as well as other collaborators, are doing their best to try and make it a reality. Though after years of work, the only thing they have to show for it is a single welcome center that has a graffitied picture of Akon on the side. And it doesn't really welcome you to anything because there's nothing to show for it. It just welcomes you to something that's emptier than my colon after eating Greek yogurt first thing in the morning. It takes you to basically just an empty field, though there is a single building skeleton there that has a staircase and that's it, and then just a bunch of cattle roaming freely. So there is no real progress being made on Akon City, and it really seems like from the beginning this was supposed to be just either a full-blown scam or just a narcissistic ego piece for Akon. Because it makes no sense why Akon would introduce a cryptocurrency to Akon City when a lot of African regions already use cryptocurrency in their day-to-day lives. If he was really trying to make this a real thing that wasn't just trying to take advantage and exploit people, it would have made more sense for him to just use the already established Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is prevalent throughout Africa. But instead he introduced his own cryptocurrency and said, "I am the bank." He also is the douchebag behind A-Coin fucking a ton of early investors. So they actually did sell A-Coin, and a lot of people bought into it, and then it immediately collapsed. It went from a 132% gain to a 60% loss, and then started offering refunds. And all these investors, when trying to get their refund, basically just got cold-shouldered and never got their refunds for this. They basically just got rugged like everyone else with the crypto boom a few years ago. But anyway, I recommend checking out Patrick Cece's video for an in-depth look at a lot of what went on behind the scenes at Akon City and Akon himself here. I want to show you what Akon City was supposed to look like and how fucking stupid this entire project seems just from like an outside perspective. It really looks like an impossible to complete task that somehow Akon promised would be done by 2024, and yet all they have right now is like a bare bones welcome center and like a single like skeleton of another building. That's about as bad as the Soulja Boy Game Boy. Okay, show a little respect for the Soulja console. Also, Akon City is so much worse than just releasing a fraudulent game console. It is disgusting to compare the two. Akon's City is like the most egregious, over-the-top scam. Like, it's so much worse. Akon actually has a video showcasing it. Look up, this is Akon City. I don't think I ever saw this. I only ever read about Akon City. So here's the entertainment district. What are these? These aren't even buildings. This looks like when you go into Roller Coaster Tycoon and fuck up the terrain. Who's your architect? This is what it looks like when you like actually trip acid for the first time. It's even bad CG. Yeah. It's melted. Yeah, I guess their chief architect is Salvador Dali. Brought him back with the Akon City in-house necromancer. The Tech District? What does this mean? Tech 003421? What tech what? What is the tech? What are they doing here? Lex Luthor live here or something? What does this mean? What does it mean? Butt Plug City. Yeah, I mean, not wrong. This all does look like something you'd find on Bad Dragon. Health and safety. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. That's... Oh, wait, it's this building. I thought he just reused Tech 001 here. for the health and safety building, but it's this building. They're just side by side. Yeah. This is the police station here. They inhabit this pack of hot dogs. Here's the fire department, which is conveniently placed in the worst possible position for them to get anywhere, because they're going to have to navigate this minefield, this fucking labyrinth. Good luck having a quick response time from the firefighters. Unspecified office building, I guess. Residential building. General hospital. Outpatient clinic. This is another residential building. Just this coral. Game name. Oh no, this is a city. This is a Akon city in real life. Apparently they actually did build a building though, so I'm gonna have to check that out. I never saw this video go up for it. Education district. This is Education 1, Education 2, Education 3. So I'm guessing this is pre-K, kindergarten, middle school, high school, and then everyone parks here in this teardrop, and then another residential building. Osmosis Jones type landscape. Bro modeled the city from the mitochondria. Yeah. Yeah, true. So here's the Scenewood district. Oh, here, Akon Tower. He's even got his own, like, Avengers building. So this is where Akon lives, and only Akon. Wait, wasn't this in the tech district? Isn't this building already occupied by tech? Am I misremembering the layout? It might be too sophisticated for my tiny little reptile brain, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the tech buildings. Oh no, it's right here. It's right above Tech 4. Then a bunch of filming studios, more residential buildings, some more office buildings, and this random media tower, I guess. Looks like a cactus theme park. Yeah. Convenient location. All of this looks like Hitachi wands. It looks less like butt plugs, and it legitimately looks like the things you'd see in porn. Those, like, really, ribby wands. Looks like Cryptoland 2.0. Well, apparently it's powered by the blockchain, so it kind of is Cryptoland 2.0. I have to imagine whoever put this presentation together was actually laughing so hard as they charged Akon an exorbitant amount for it. Yeah, I'll throw this piece of shit together for like, I don't know, like $3 million bucks. Done. Shake my hand. Looks like a pretty cool place to live. I don't know what I'm looking at here. It's just random JPEGs that are floating through on this building, but how could you not smile if you lived in a place like Akon City? Alright, let's see the current Akon City. Do we really need an explanation for why Akon City will never happen? I think we all know just by looking at the design blueprints there. Like, come on.
Building has like futuristic curvatures outside. It definitely looks like something out of Wakanda, but only one building so far.
Whoa, what was this? Wait, what? This is there right now. Also, you should probably have someone else come in and do the artwork on the side of your building. Why? That looks like extremely low poly. It's like a PS1 render of Akon. You could definitely find a better artist for that. In March 2022, Stevens asked a judge to freeze Akon's New York assets, claiming that without the measure, Akon would have difficulty repaying an alleged debt. Stevens' lawyer, Jeffrey Movitt, alleged in his affidavit that Akon City and Akon exhibited many of the trademark characteristics of a fraudulent business venture, such as Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes. Akon City was likely a scam. Akon denied the allegations about Akon City. The following month, he paid $850K to settle part of the ongoing lawsuit. He said the motion to freeze his accounts has been made out of spite. I mean, likely a scam is very generous. It is 100% a scam in every possible version of the word. Last month, a group of scammers successfully stole $240 million from a single victim, but their success was short-lived. This group of dweebs lasted about as long as Concord did, because within a month, they were caught and assets frozen, 2 of them already being indicted, and it's all thanks to Zach XBT. This is someone I've talked about before. This guy is like Jason Bourne. If he's on your tail, your goose is cooked. Zach XBT is a scammer's worst nightmare. Him and CoffeeZilla I have the utmost respect for. They do incredible work with holding these pieces of shit accountable and catching them. And Zach XBT spearheaded this crazy investigation where he got everything. Like, he has probably more information on these guys than their own parents do. He's probably got all their fucking report cards from 2nd grade till they graduated. It is wild. And there's also video footage of them committing the crime. These goobers got the biblical smackdown put on them by Zach here. And since there's video recording of this, we get to hear from them. And holy shit, you get to hear just how sad and pathetic these dweebs are. And Zach also got like some of their messages that they exchanged. And one guy tried to use all of the money he stole to get girls, and yet continued to get rejected by all of them, at least from what we can see. It is unbelievable how pathetic they are. Anyway, here's kind of like the general breakdown of what happened. On August 19th of 2024, they targeted a Genesis creditor by calling his Google support via spoof number to compromise the account, calling as Gemini support claiming the account is hacked, social engineered victim into resetting two-factor and sending Gemini funds to a compromised wallet, and then got the victim to use AnyDesk to share screen and leaked private keys from the Bitcoin core. He then also has some of the messages they exchanged about all of it. Reading through their messages, you can see that it's pretty much all social engineering. This is what hacking actually looks like for the most part. Very rarely is there a case where it's someone with fucking 5 keyboards surrounding them that they're typing on, injecting some kind of worm and code into the mainframe to hack. Like the way it's portrayed in the movies with like a turbo hacker man with sunglasses on typing away furiously. Usually it's someone just pretending like, oh yes, I'm Phil Cheeseburger on behalf of Microsoft support, you're compromised. That's usually how it goes. So like reading through it, what you can do is, please just take a picture of the last 4 of the private key. You can crop the rest out and just please take the picture for now. You don't have to send it anywhere. So like they're just giving lines that they can feed this guy to convince him to do what they need in order to steal his money. They're basically just choosing dialogue tree options in a Bethesda game to try and steal people's shit.
No way. No fucking way.
I see it, bro. It's on the blockchain. It's on the blockchain, bro.
No fucking way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No fucking way.
Yo! We're done! We're done! I'm passing out! Do you know how much money that is?
It's a quarter of a bill. Probably.
Spent 3 ways or is it 4 ways? That's
That's pretty pretty funny. Pretty 10 pretty funny.
I'm gonna lose my shit!
I can legitimately hear the Cheeto dust and fedora that the guy's wearing who keeps saying, probably a pretty penny. Probably like 10 pretty pennies. He sounds so fucking congested. Like I'm congested out the wazoo right now. But even I don't sound that bad, I don't think. Good lord, brother, holy. Dude just sounds like a wedgie magnet. It's actually baffling to me that they pulled this off and then had all of this evidence that they themselves gathered against themselves. Like, this is a private recording of them. You steal $240 million and you leave the biggest possible digital footprints. That's mind-boggling. Zach XBT claims that he has over an hour and a half of footage of these fucking goobers. There's also times where they slipped up revealing full names and other important information that Zach was able to gather. And the one I really want to focus on is Malone. Zach got some really good information on Malone because this guy loved to flaunt all of this shit. So he gets all this money and immediately starts spending $250 to $500K a night and giving out Birkin bags to random girls. There were girls on TikTok that were walking away from his parties just carrying Birkin bags, and I guarantee he didn't even get so much as a kiss on the cheek for it. This guy was blowing $500,000 a night to try and get laid, and I guarantee he's still a virgin. He even bought his crush a pink Lamborghini as well as 3 Birkin bags to try and lure her in and make her fall in love with him because of his money, and it doesn't work. He reaches out saying, I got you a present, we'll call it an early birthday gift, a thank you gift, I appreciate you so much, heart. And all she says is, I am taken once again, and he says, I don't care. Malone, I know you care. Dude probably fell to his knees, crying into his hands, all this money, and he still cannot get a girl to be interested in him. Seems like he's using every doubloon that he stole to try and buy a girl's heart, and it is not working for him. She just shuts it down immediately, reminding him that she has a boyfriend. Like, that's so good. She doesn't even say thank you, by the way. This guy must actually be a huge nuisance, like a big piece of shit. She doesn't even bother to try and thank him. He must always try and use money as leverage on people or some shit. Because she doesn't even entertain the idea for a second. That is so good. There is a part of me that hopes that she did at least still take the keys from him for the pink Lambo and then have the boyfriend reach out telling Malone thanks for the car. That would be the cherry on top. Now, Malone is one of the two that have already been indicted, so we get to take a look at this Casanova right here. This is the guy. We get to put a face to this pathetic douchebag. He was very public with all of his money and all of his spending too. So Zach XBT actually pulled up his Instagram and some of the photos on it where he'd flaunt the money that he stole and what he spent it on. Here's one from his Instagram page, which is unfortunately private now, so I can't peruse to see what other bangers might have been on there. But I love how even in this photo, Malone is like the least visible person there. His two friends are front and center and Malone is in the background. Even in his own Instagram post, he is not like the main focus. This guy must have just been like a perpetual fucking loser, even in his own friend group. He gets hundreds of millions of dollars here, and still they don't respect him and don't care about him. They just use him for his money, and he is fine with that. That's the impression I get. Here's some more photos from his partying where he'd blow hundreds of thousands a night and buy girls Birkin bags. Anyway, though, let's talk about some of the others. So Zach XBT identified pretty much everybody here, so another one that also got indicted is Box. Now, Zach was able to find not only the information on these people, but also where all the funds were coming through, which led to a lot of the funds being frozen, as I understand it. I highly recommend you go to Zach XBT's actual Twitter page if you want like a full in-depth breakdown on how he did all of this. It's extremely impressive, and I'm too stupid to fully understand all the ways that he was able to pull this off. But what I do understand is that Zach fucked him. Like, he absolutely went wild on him. And now, 2 of them have been indicted, and I think it's only a matter of time before the rest will also face justice too. Overall, though, after reading through it all, I'm pretty surprised at how effective this was from these snot-nosed weirdos. They didn't do anything particularly new with this. It seems like pretty standard by-the-book social engineering with the Google support phone call, that kind of shit. That's something people have done for years. The method by which they actually took the Bitcoin is pretty different. Like, I haven't seen that done before, but to actually get in the door through this social engineering method is something that has been done for so long. I am just kind of surprised that it still worked this well for them with someone that had that much money. You would think that they probably wouldn't fall for something like that, but what's been proven time and time again is that just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're super fucking smart. So they got very lucky that their victim played along, even gave them screen control, and they took that money. And the victim is very lucky that Zach XBT was on the case to catch all the people here and maybe at some point even get the money back. But right now, the thing to celebrate is that Zach XBT has done an incredible job with this investigation, identifying all of the scammers here and getting them to face justice. Hopefully the rest of them will face it as well, so they'll join Malone and Box. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I've covered a lot of scams over the years, but this product might just take the cake for being the most diabolical. It's an automatic litter box that is killing cats. It kind of stops being a litter box and becomes like a pseudo guillotine that executes some of the cats that use it. It is horrifying and heartbreaking. There's a YouTube channel called One Man 5 Cats that just posted an incredible breakdown going over how dangerous and deadly this device is. Those 2 adorable cats pictured there, Mochi and Charlie, are 2 of the who knows how many victims of this death trap. As a cat owner myself, the thought of this is really infuriating. And from what I can tell through looking it up, this automatic litter box is a very popular one. And it's being sold under numerous different brands. It keeps getting rebranded or repackaged and sold by a ton of different other companies. So it's not like it's coming from one place that you can always track down. Like, oh, this is, from Jerry Inc., designed to kill Tom and every other cat or anything. This is a bunch of different brands selling the same device with the same problem that can lead to your cat just being killed by it.
Which shared a video on TikTok from a lady called Carly J, who described how her automatic litter box killed her cat, a beautiful 1-year-old Siamese girl called Moshi.
Yesterday morning, we woke up, me and my 2-year-old daughter, and I went to find my cat, and she was hanging from her litter box. It had closed on her neck and her body was hanging out, and there was red stuff all over, like everywhere.
I'm guessing you can't say blood on TikTok, but the scene she's describing is consistent with reports from other cat owners that also lost their beloved pets to this machine as well. I just can't even imagine that. Even just hearing about it makes me angry. If I found that my cat Io had been killed by one of these, that would have me fully go John Wick. Like, I know I kind of look like a diet great value John Wick right now just by default, but that would have me fully go, like, unhinged with it.
She didn't say what machine it was, but she did clarify in the follow-up video that it wasn't an actual litter robot, but something she'd bought off of Amazon. She didn't name it in this video either, but she did in the comments. Her videos started to go viral, but then just a few days after they were uploaded, they were gone. So I started to investigate. I needed to know if this was real and if potentially deadly machines were being sold.
It's not unusual for videos to be taken down either by the user or by a company looking to salvage their image if it paints them in a bad light. So One Man 5 Cats was paying attention, noticed the videos got taken down, and launched his own investigation to see if the claims were real. Or maybe it was all one big hoax by some rival litter box company trying to besmirch the good name of Am's Toys.
I'd already found the one that she named on Amazon a few days earlier, sold under the brand Am's Toy. Astonishingly, they even called it Litter Robot by Am's Toy, using Whisker's Litter Robot font. This is absolutely not a litter robot, and it shows just how dodgy this company is.
This whole thing is fishy from top to bottom. This company itself is extraordinarily sketchy. So they're trying to pretend to be a more successful, more reputable company that sells the litter robot to confuse consumers. It's actual infringement. Like, this is fraud. At least in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but they are calling it the litter robot, which is already something that exists by a different company, and it's a completely different device. The litter robot by Am's Toy is as much of a robot as me doing this. It doesn't really function the way it should, because it shouldn't be fucking killing cats, you know what I mean? It's not the litter robot, it's the shitter robot. And Am's Toy knows that. They are doing a classic knockoff. Like, this is something that you see in every industry. When something gets popular, you're going to see 1,000 different companies and brands take the exact same thing, even call it the exact same thing, even though it's not the real product, because it's hoping to confuse buyers into getting theirs instead of the real one. Usually they'll make it more appealing by making it cheaper, which is exactly what Am's Toy's litter robot did. It is a cheap automatic litter robot option that people who are familiar with these kind of devices have probably heard the name litter robot before, so they felt that it was trustworthy.
In the review section, there was a photo of one covered in blood, stating that it had killed their cat. It wasn't under her name, but it had to be her machine. But after the TikTok videos were removed, that review no longer had the photo on it, and was now positive. Then a few days later, the entire listing for the Am's Toy was gone.
Another timeless classic from these evil companies. They put this product out there. When it becomes apparent to most consumers that it's a scam, or in this case, more than a scam, it is actually killing the intended user, they just vanish. They just disappear into a puff of smoke. Also, the review being changed, I haven't actually seen it to that level before. Like, it's very common for these scam companies to have paid reviews, like shills come in and review, or in certain cases bots. When the review site doesn't have a lot of protections in place, you'll see a lot of bot reviews. But this one's really weird. Not only did they try and bury that review about the cat that was murdered by their product, they changed it to "good machine with cute ears." That's like the fakest sounding review ever. And in a case like this, that's like someone leaving a review for the Brazen Bull like, Was boiled alive, but man did it look cool on the outside. 4 stars. These people are fucked up. It's not like they don't know what's going on here. They are clearly aware that their product is killing cats. And yet, what they're doing to fix that is hiding that and then just rebranding. Like they just say, all right, we'll just try again in a week. That was so good, I think I'll try it a second time. What about second breakfast? Here we go, new brand, same machine. It'll probably kill a couple cats, and when that happens, we'll just do it all over again, rinse and repeat.
There are also a lot of very similar looking machines and different names at Amazon and Wayfair in the US, not just under the AMS toy name. After looking at the photos and videos of them, I saw a potential danger. So I had to buy one to see for myself. And they didn't actually send me the one I ordered, which was identical to the AMS toy version, minus the ears. But what I received was still the same fundamental design. It's one of the countless generic machines which are generally bought in bulk and branded by a random company. That's why you see so many identical ones online with different names.
Without the ears, this shit actually does just look like a minion. It looks like a minion that was trapped in a noir film. So as you can see, this machine is being used by a ton of different sellers under a ton of different names, ton of different brands. But it remains the same fundamentally terrible product that can kill a cat.
I immediately started testing it straight out the box, as shipped, and had my fears confirmed.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to free.
Yikes, that is horrible. Seeing the Garfield plushie get annihilated there like it was about to be turned into fucking lasagna paints a pretty clear picture of how these cats are being killed by it. So it is a single piece of plastic and only one opening that's mounted to the base, and it rotates upwards when it's doing its cleaning cycle. So if a cat peeks in, which is very normal behavior for cats apparently, like my cat does it, Io, anytime she uses the litter box, she like looks down there to make sure that it's not alive, because if it is, she'd go down there and swat the shit out of it 1,000 times, give it like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, ora ora ora, well, just slapping the poop around. So it's not unusual, and it should be expected that a cat might look into the litter box once it finishes. And that shouldn't be a death sentence for the cat.
But this rotates on the y-axis, so as it cycles, the opening closes. Because that piece of plastic opening is attached to the base and not split in two, if a cat gets caught in it, then there's no escape. There's the weight sensors, an infrared sensor on the front entrance that will pause the machine if a cat gets close to it or enters it. The third safety measure is the pinch detector.
Now, this has sensors, but clearly they don't work very well. The sensors are supposed to be in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening, where if there's still a cat like around while it's doing the cleaning cycle, it should abort that mission. Like it shouldn't continue the cleaning cycle because it could be dangerous to the cat.
Here I'm pressing down, putting my weight on it and covering the infrared sensor. Both indeed pause the cycling briefly. It should not resume like this. If a cat put its paws on the front and peered in, it should wait until those triggered sensors were cleared. Instead, it just pauses briefly and resumes, which is making both sensors redundant.
Now the pinch detector should be getting a sense of resistance from here and reversing, but it doesn't. It carries on. God, that really hurts.
Dude almost just sacrificed his hand to the AMS toy Bloodlord here. So clearly, these sensors are not effective. Now they did roll out an update on the app to fix the sensors, which did actually fix them, but I still argue that that's just not good enough. It is a terrible product even with functioning sensors. It is still a dog shit design that is inherently dangerous for cats. There is no reason why it should be rotating upwards and have a fucking fixed base that it's rotating against. Because technology breaks. No matter how much you fix something or roll out changes, there's always going to be malfunctions. And in the case of this putrid motherfucker, it's going to cost the cat its life. Other automatic litter boxes that I've seen don't rotate upwards often. Most of them rotate onto their side. But the ones that do also don't rotate against a fixed base, they rotate against something that can pop off. So even if a cat somehow does find itself stuck on one of the other machines that's going upwards, because they're in two pieces, the top pops off and the cat is alive and it gets to live to see another day. Here, that is not the case.
The inside rim of the plastic opening is actually quite sharp too, so that combined with the force and the 3 safety measures all failing to do their job made this machine incredibly dangerous. Once I had finished these initial tests, I connected it to the Tuya Smart app to see if there were any firmware updates, and yeah, there was one. So I installed it, and amazingly, the sensor started to work properly, including the pinch detector.
One Man 5 Cat mentions that there was no indication that there needed to be a firmware update. There was nothing in the manual that even talked about safety, really. So the vast majority of buyers of this product would have no idea that they need to download and update the firmware to have the sensors function properly. When you purchase something, you're expecting it to be in a working order. That's not going to just be some kind of fucking saw trap for your cat.
From my experience in my Facebook group, I know that many people don't bother with apps, which means if they have one of these, then they won't have the safer firmware. Are the sellers on Amazon, Wayfair and AliExpress contacting people who've bought them to tell them that they must update the firmware? Well, if this was a single machine sold by a well-known brand, I'm sure they would. But with all these different random companies, it's doubtful. I just really hope that they are.
I am extremely confident that they're not. I would eat my fucking left shoe if it turns out any of these sellers bothered reaching any of the buyers to tell them to upgrade the firmware, to update it, otherwise their cat might die in it. I feel like most of the companies would be really weary of sending an email like that to the buyers because it might put them into legal hot water or something. They probably wouldn't even alert the buyers to those safety concerns in the first place, and they just sit there crossing their fingers hoping that their cat doesn't die because then it might be bad for their brand and they'll have to restart again under a different name, like they're doing countless times.
Then there's just how good are the sensors? How reliable are they? Sensors fail, especially cheap sensors. And looking at the build quality of this, I highly doubt the sensors are high quality. So if the sensors stop working, then you still have this incredibly dangerous design of the opening closing off with no way to escape.
It's something One Man 5 Cats also mentions here, and then also talks about how bad the build quality is and how it's just, even aside from being a death trap, a really awful automatic litter box. Now, he actually did get in contact with the initial poster of that TikTok video who lost her cat to one of these, and it's really interesting what we learn from her.
Amstoy had given a financial settlement to delete the videos and the Amazon review. As part of the settlement, Amstoy would remove the machine from sale. Her husband was unable to delete the Amazon review, so he changed it to a positive one.
So that solves the mystery of the deleted TikTok videos and the changed Amazon review. So they were financially compensated by this company that had led to the death of their cat to take down the videos and also get rid of the Amazon review. What a scummy organization. And apparently they had stopped the sale of that product. Bah humbug, I know they're not. They're just selling it under a different name now. No doubt in my mind. One Man 5 Cats goes on to say that he doesn't blame her for taking the settlement. He mentions he doesn't know how much it was, but she mentioned it wasn't a lot. The main reason she did it was to get the product to stop being sold on Amazon, but she just didn't know how widespread of an issue this is. This isn't just one company selling it. It's not just Amstoy. This is that product being sold by a ton of different other sellers, and I'm sure whoever's behind Amstoy is still selling it themselves, but under a different name. So ultimately, it didn't stop getting sold as a result of this, unfortunately.
Carly also told me about a lady called Trish who messaged her to say that her cat had also been killed by the Amstoy machine, and she put me in touch with her. Trish's kitten Charlie was 3 months old and over the minimum weight that the manual states a cat should be before turning on autocycling. On the 19th of July, Trish got a video call from her 13-year-old daughter frantically telling her that Charlie's neck was caught in the closed opening.
I'll go ahead and stop the story here. It is heartbreaking. Like, it is awful. It's these goddamn vultures that are so hungry to just push out these scams, these really cheaply made products to try and make a quick buck off deceiving consumers into purchasing them by emulating popular brands, and people are just none the wiser. It's on Amazon, and most people have like some level of faith in an Amazon product at least not going to kill someone, right? And these fucking vermin know that. So they put it on Amazon, they know it's dangerous and deadly, and do not care. Because they're trying to make some money on top of these kitten corpses.
Trish also shared with me a review on the now deleted Am's Toy Amazon listing about a cat that had also gotten stuck in the opening, but the owner was able to rescue her in time. But it doesn't end there. There was another Facebook post in my Facebook group that shared this story about a 5-month-old kitten that was found suffocated in a waste drawer.
This one actually had the cat pass away in a different fashion. As opposed to being trapped between the opening and the base, this one got trapped under the scooper and suffocated in the litter. Now, the last sentence here is something very important to note. Perhaps warn your customers, since it's the most affordable option I've seen for a litter robot. That's what makes these so popular and why they're being resold by so many brands, because they're manufactured super cheap and cheaper than all of the alternatives. So a lot of people have been purchasing them not knowing that it could kill their pets. And since companies like Am's Toy just delete the listing or pay people off to delete negative reviews and take down videos talking about it, people don't even get the information to let them know that it could be dangerous, because they just get a fresh listing with the same machine and none of the reviews are there anymore.
I tried to contact Am's Toy to get a statement, but their online presence is very minimal, and especially now that their Amazon listings are gone. I did find their YouTube channel, so I left a comment asking if they could get in touch with me. They didn't reply or email me. Instead, they deleted my comment. Deleting seems to be their way of dealing with things. I hope this video can help get all of them removed from sale everywhere and get to the people who already have them to warn them.
I wasn't surprised that they deleted that comment. I was actually more shocked that they had a YouTube account still up. Usually when a company, goes tits up and decides to sail off into the sunset before rebranding and selling the same shit, they make sure to scrub the entire online presence of their previous scam. Am's Toy forgot one, clearly. So, overall, massive thanks to One Man 5 Cats for talking about this, showcasing it, and warning people, because I imagine there's a lot of people that watched his video and may have actually had one in their home, and it probably saved their cat's life. Like, unironically, it probably saved that animal's life. Hopefully, the products can be removed from Amazon and every other seller that has them. It's a dangerous product. It's a scam product. So it should be very easy to just slap to the shadow realm, I would think. So yeah, great work by One Man 5 Cats. And my heart breaks for anyone that lost their cat to this thing. Hopefully going forward, this product will just not exist anymore. That's really about it. Go check out One Man 5 Cats channel if you do want to see like good automatic litter box options that aren't deadly or dangerous. And yeah, that's really about it. I've made a ton of videos making fun of those alpha male boot camps that charge desperate, gullible men tens of thousands of dollars to attend a course where they just get sprayed with a hose for 3 days and spit on and yelled at and get absolutely nothing of value out of it. And today I was made aware that there's a similar course for women. It's not exactly the same, but it's somewhat adjacent. It's not an alpha female course per se. You pay $2,000 to $4,000 to swing a stick in a forest while screaming. And it's supposed to be like this emotional release for things that are enraging you.
Would you pay $4,000 to swing big sticks and scream in the woods with the aim of releasing your anger?
Obviously, there's only one right answer to that question. Any sensible person on the planet would say, absolutely yes. It's more than worth it to go pay $2,000 to $4,000 to swing a fucking stick. Sign me up. I'm ready. That's something I can't do for free. Where am I gonna find a stick?
It is imperative that we allow ourselves safe spaces to release this fiery, hot emotion from within us.
So it's called the Rage Ritual Retreat.
If you want a healthy way of releasing all of your anger just to scream, shout, let it all out, Solo queue in Rainbow Six Siege. I guarantee after your second game you won't have a voice left because you'd be too busy yelling at your fucking teammates who are lobotomites. Now, dropping the sarcasm, this is just a blatant scam. Charging people up to $4,000 to swing a stick while yelling? I couldn't imagine a worse use of your money. You would get more value out of using $4,000 as toilet paper. I would actually say that is a better use of those dollar bills as opposed to spending them on this con artist. Like, there's not even an overhead cost here. It's like genius from the scammer's perspective. All you do is just go into a forest and give them sticks and tell them to yell. One of their big selling points, at least from what I can tell, is that this is a safe space to do it in, a controlled environment where there's going to be no judgment and no one's going to hear you. Bah humbug, what a load of fucking horseradish. It's not like the lead lady here who you're about to meet surveyed the entire area within 3 miles to ensure that it's a closed set that no one's going to infiltrate. There's definitely going to be some hikers that might hear you, or some wildlife that's going to be startled and maybe you get charged by a bear who's confused or something. Like, it's not like this is some kind of environment she controls. All she did is get a class together and charge them thousands of dollars to swing sticks together. Something that you can do for free right now. And in fact, I will. I'm going to release my rage at seeing this blatant scam and people's willingness to just spend tons of money on absolute fucking nothing. But I don't have a stick, so instead I'm using this bold and brash picture.
And the founder's name is Mia, and she describes herself as a spiritual fairy godmother and is known online as Mia Magic.
You're gonna need big sticks.
Right now I feel angry, right now I feel frustrated. Everything, whatever you're feeling, let it out, express yourself.
Basically paying thousands of dollars for a guided anti-meditation class. So you visualize something you don't like. So for me, I've got a big mental image of James Corden. Grr, I'm gritting my teeth. I gotta let all this anger out. Where's my stick? And then spiritual fairy godmother gives you permission to start yelling while hitting the ground with a stick till your arms give out. It's an actual caveman course. The lady behind it is a self-proclaimed mystic whose supernatural ability is getting middle-aged women to empty their piggy banks for her. And her rage ritual she describes as, when people do this and give themselves permission to release their anger, their capacity for joy actually expands. Which is a bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo. Like, this gobbledygook is something you see in every angle of these scams. Like, alpha male boot camps do the same thing. Right now you're a broken man and only we can fix you because we're gonna give you the capacity for success. So give us $18,000 so we can stick this hose up your ass. They're able to feel more happiness and pleasure, and they go home to their families with more gratitude and ease and peace. That's like the same goofy logic in the Purge movies. Alright, we're gonna make murder legal for one day, so that way you can get it all out of your system, and you won't want to murder anyone else for the entire 364 other days. This is like that same thought process. Alright, we're gonna go to the rage retreat for a little while, and you can scream a lot while swinging a stick, so when you go home, you're gonna be so much more peaceful, and you won't have any rage left, and you won't get angry again. As I've said in some of the alpha male courses where they have you scream into the instructor's bosom, literally just motorboating a dude's chest while screaming, I have said that it is definitely relieving to yell. Just have this big emotional dump. Ah! It feels great sometimes just to let it all out. I get it. And you know what the beauty of that is? It's free. You shouldn't be paying thousands of fucking dollars to do that. You can do it now. And I guess I should mention that she does have another more financially viable option where it's a one-day ticket at $222 per person. Now, just to put that in perspective, for 222 clams, you can just go to a fucking smash room right now, get yourself a sledgehammer or a baseball bat or your medieval weapon of choice, and just start breaking shit while yelling and screaming. That is like a full body release. It's very emotional if you want it to be, I guess. It's significantly cheaper, you're not getting scammed, and you get to have fun with it. Why not just do a smash room? Like, this has no advantages at all except you go into a forest for it, which doesn't do anything. And it's not even like she's trying to sell it as that, like, oh, it improves your connection to nature through like this, chakra realignment with the Earth's magnetic crust. Like, she's not even trying any of those weird angles that we see a lot. She is literally just saying, hey, come swing a stick and yell. Well, then let me cosplay as your financial advisor real quick. Save yourself the doubloons and go to a Smash Room right now if you think this is something that's going to help you feel better and like let off some steam. Go to Smash Room, save yourselves a lot of money, and bust up a car, destroy a toaster, fucking, I don't know, blast an old kitchen sink, whatever they have there, and start yelling and screaming, get real primal and guttural with it. Like, there is no reason anyone should be paying thousands of dollars or even the couple hundred dollars to do this rage retreat. It's just a scam.
Now, participants are encouraged to scream, to think of people and experiences that have wronged them, and swing big sticks for up to 20 minutes or until they can no longer move their arms as a way to release their emotions.
This is a place where we get to go full out without any feeling of restriction.
Hey, it's me, Charles, again, your spiritual Gary Godfather, your spiritual fairy godfather here. Just go to a Smash Room instead. You don't have to pay me for this advice here. Wish granted. You want to blow off some steam and scream and swing a stick? Go to a Smash Room. It's not nearly as much money as this. Okay, fairy godfather out. Poof.
Who has made me angry? Who has hurt me? Who has broken me? Who has cut me down?
Now, the rage rituals go down in the forest so that they don't have to worry about bothering people nearby. And if you're thinking of joining a rage ritual, the packages range from $2,000 to $4,000. And you know people online are sharing their thoughts on this creative therapeutic outlet. One user said, where is this? Asking for a friend.
This has nothing to do with the rage ritual anymore, but the video that I was linked here, I just find it very interesting, the comments they pick out. So that one right there, that has no updates at all. That seems like a comment production might have left there just to seed something in here that's positive. Somehow they only found positive comments when I know people would be clowning on this. 100%. I know for a fact they are because I looked at other uploads and most of the comments are laughing at it. Yet somehow they found the only 3 positive comments buried deep within there. I just thought that was kind of interesting to point out.
And this user said, I want in, while this user said, I wish women would just take their rage out on the people that are enraging them. These rituals are like a bandage for a bleeding wound. Now, Mia Magic said the next retreat will be in August and the location will be in France. So BG Squad, how do you feel about this rage ritual? And are you thinking of going to one too? Share your thoughts in the comments.
I hope you don't mind if I share my thoughts in this video. I will not be attending. And I encourage everybody else to do the same. Please stop paying thousands of dollars for things you can do yourself for free. You are getting absolutely nothing of value out of this, except I guess if you wanted to go to France. I mean, I guess if you want to take a vacation to France, but it seems like all you do there is go to France and swing a stick in the forests. Basically what you're doing is you're paying for this lady's vacation spots. That's more what it seems like to me. She's like, oh yeah, this one's going to be in France because you're able to scream louder there, and like the forests are super isolated and serene. So yeah, this next one's gonna be in France. It's $4,000, by the way. Like, it seems like all you're doing is financing her traveling. Like, that's what the impression I get. There's no reason that it needs to go overseas. You can do this in any fucking forest ever. It's just so obviously a scam, taking advantage of gullible people. It's so fucking ridiculous. But that's just kind of the day and age. People are more than willing to just part with tons and tons of money for absolutely no reason at all. But yeah, I want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya.